All right, let's jump right in. If you think you've got a handle on the side hustle game, you might want to think again. Because in 2025, the rules, the players, and frankly, the reasons we're even doing this have completely changed. This isn't just about scoring some extra vacation money anymore. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how we work. And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. For decades, a side hustle was a nice to have, right? It was a luxury, a way to fund a hobby or a trip. But now, for a massive part of the population, it is an absolute necessity. We've officially moved from the supplemental income era into the survival income era. And just look at this number for a second. 72%. That's how much of the workforce either has a side hustle or is actively planning to get one. This isn't some niche trend anymore. It's a full-blown economic migration. So the question is no longer if people are hustling, but why they're hustling. So let's really dig into that. What is the core motivation behind this huge shift? Well, it's a story that really starts with the price tag on, well, everything.
This chart tells you pretty much everything you need to know. Look, passion projects are great, but for almost half of everyone with a side hustle, that's not what's driving them. A whopping 48% say they need the money just to survive or to hit essential financial goals. That's a huge signal about the state of things.
And the main culprit here is no surprise. It's the cost of living crisis that just won't quit. With nearly a third of Americans pointing to inflation as their number one worry, the side hustle has become the best defense against rising prices. I mean, think about it. You can't just demand a raise at your day job, but you can raise your freelance rates tomorrow. Okay, so we know the why. Now let's get into the what. We're going to start on the digital frontier, where technology is literally inventing new ways to make a living as we speak. So, welcome to what I'm calling freelancing 2.0. The big fear was that AI was going to replace all the freelancers, but the reality is it's created this new, incredibly valuable role, the AI operator. Businesses are practically drowning in AI tools, and they will pay top dollar for someone who can actually make them work. And here's how that breaks down in actual dollars. Just look at these rates. Prompt engineering is solid, for sure, but the real gold rush, it's in AI automation. We are talking up to $150 an hour for people who can connect different apps and build automated workflows for businesses. The demand is just through the roof. So, what's in the toolkit? It's probably simpler than you'd think. It's platforms like Zapier and Make.com. They're kind of like the digital glue that connects everything. And then you plug in the brain, which is often the OpenAI API. Mastering how these three pieces talk to each other, that is the key to an incredibly lucrative side hustle. Now, let's switch gears to a classic hustle that's been totally reinvented by tech, reselling. You got to forget that old image of digging through dusty garage sales. We are in the middle of a resale renaissance where flipping is basically a high-tech logistics business now. And this slide right here shows you exactly what I mean. The biggest game changer is something called cross-listing software. Tools like Clozo or Vendoo let you post one item on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari all at the same time. The key takeaway is you aren't working harder, your inventory is. This tech can literally double or even triple your sales. But hey, it's not all ones and zeros. Some of the most profitable and stable side hustles are the ones that really rely on a human touch, the stuff that just can't be automated away. Let's take mobile detailing. It's a perfect example of a sweat equity hustle with fantastic economics. Yeah, you can make a great effective rate, $40 to $60 an hour, but the real money is in the high-ticket upsells. A single ceramic coating job, that can net you over $800. And for these kinds of service gigs, geography is destiny. I mean, just look at the difference here in pet care rates. A 30-minute dog walk in a place like San Francisco can pull in $50. That same walk in a more rural area, maybe $15. Your zip code is a massive factor in how much you can earn. Okay, next up is one of the most misunderstood hustles out there, user-generated content, or UGC. And this right here is the absolute most important thing you need to understand. An influencer gets paid for their audience. A UGC creator gets paid for their content. The brand takes your video and runs it as their own ad. You literally do not need a single follower to make a killing at this. So how do you make the big bucks? The secret is in something called usage rights. You charge your base rate to make the video, but then you charge an extra 30 to 50% fee if the brand wants permission to run it as a paid ad. That's how you turn one-off gigs into a semi-passive income stream. All right, you're going to want to listen up for this next part, especially if you sell anything online. For the last couple of years, there's been this huge cloud of uncertainty around tax reporting, but that has finally been cleared up. Let me walk you through this. A few years back, a new rule was about to drop the IRS reporting threshold to just $600, which understandably caused a massive panic for anyone just selling stuff casually. But for 2025, that's been reversed. We are back to the original threshold, $20,000 and 200 transactions. The implication of this change is huge. It's basically a green light for the entire casual economy. That person who's just clearing out their closet on eBay for a couple $1,000 a year, they no longer have to worry about getting a bunch of automated tax forms. It removes this massive barrier of fear for so many people. So, we've talked about the what and the why, but let's get to the most important part. How do you actually succeed in this brand new, super competitive landscape? It all comes down to strategy. The single biggest thing that separates the top earners from everyone else is what's called the skill stack multiplier. Just look at this example. A generic writer might make $20 an hour. Okay, now add SEO skills to that, and boom, you're at $50 an hour. Now stack AI prompting skills on top of that, and you're hitting $80 a dollar. You see, you're not just adding to your value, you are multiplying it. And this all leads to a market dynamic called the hollowing middle. What that means is, down at the bottom, really simple tasks are just being automated away. Up at the top, high-level strategic work is booming. It's that generic, middle-of-the-road work, like a basic blog post or a simple logo design, that's getting absolutely crushed by AI competition. So the critical takeaway here is this. The only way forward is to get out of that hollow middle. You either need to move toward physicality, hands-on work like mobile detailing that can't be automated, or you move toward high-level strategy, where you're the one telling the AI what to do, not competing against it. And that really leaves us with one last crucial question. As you look at your own skills, your own job, your own hustle, you have to ask yourself, in this new economy, is the work you do automatable or is it essential? Because your answer to that question is going to determine everything.